That's funny.
All right, everybody. Awestruck Comics podcast. If you want to go back to see our plugs turned into a mini-sode, so you can go back to the point five. We're going to jump right into the news of the week. So let's do
Hey, you know
this.
what? But let's just say this is Awestruck
News
Comics podcast. Let's
O
start
to
starting
week.
the podcast with who we are.
Oh,
We got to start doing that
oh yeah,
more.
it's me,
So
Mark Leone.
that's me, Rob Messick. We're bringing you the news fit to be heard,
Here we go. Lots of
and some
news.
news that isn't fit to be heard.
Yeah, it is just all around. So this uh, this news came out, and we don't know about this at all. So this has been a project that Casada has been working on for years.
It's a return to Marvel Knights. He's got the Marvel Knights logo back up there.
Yeah, but it
Um,
just feels like a Black Panther master. So I don't know. I
it
mean,
does.
unless we're going to be bringing things in, it just states that basically um, that in October 2017, this was a Christopher Priest like pitch, and then I get because basically, from what we understand, Casada essentially has been working on his own new company, Amazing Comics, through Mad Cave, I
Right.
believe. And like he moved to the country, like he's out of New York, he's in Indiana or something like that, or Illinois, an I state, I believe, Idaho. And he's just
When
doing
you
his
say
own book,
Idaho,
Idaho.
you just make up a state.
Idaho, Idaho.
It's
So
off.
so
It's
he
off to
had to
news we
draw it.
go.
But see, this is kind of the other thing that like you and I are frustrated on some artists coming back to Marvel and then not sticking the landing. Like Capullo comes back, it's every issue's late. He worked on it for 2 3 years, like 2 years almost, and it's still not there done. Here is different, where Quesada has this essentially done. And I feel like this is smart of them holding this because I feel like Amazing Comics is coming out in July or something. So I feel like this is actually super smart.
I
So
think.
he's using himself using like, hey, here's my popularity at Marvel. BT Dubs, go over here and look at my other shit that I've been working on also.
Yeah. I
So I
worry
think
his
it's
amazing
strategic.
comics launch is probably. I feel like he's doing too many books at once. Like I think new companies should just start off with one book and get one
Right.
book right. That's what Ghost
Right.
Machine did. We only had Geiger for what, a year? He launched everything from Geiger.
Yeah, right,
We got
right.
a Geiger
I don't think of
miniseries.
that as that. I think that was I think he grew more and more frustrated when he did the original Geiger and then the original Junkyard Joe, you mean. That wasn't Ghost Machine, technically. I feel like his
It was
frustration
like not Mad Ghost. It had a different name at first.
I think yeah,
Was it Mad Ghost?
that might be right. Or was it Jacket? Or whose company is Jacket? Something
Oh, that's
Jacket.
that's what's
It's
name's
Scott
that.
Snyder's.
Scott Snyder is Tiny
Okay.
Jacket or something, right?
Right.
Or Best Jacket.
Everybody's got their own thing. Tiny Onion. Like we got like they
Tiny
all have
Onion,
like
because that's
little
that's how
things.
you pronounce his name, Tiny Onion.
Yeah.
Tiny Onion. Uh,
So, but this is
so
to like we talk about Casada style. We don't love the new like silhouette style, like his like very realistic style. He
listen,
did
he's
post one more day.
this is all phenomenal artwork. We cannot take that away from him. But we have a fascination with the edges of Joe Quesada of the 90s. The edges, the eyes, the lines. There was just something so unique about that and so fun.
I don't want Casada, and this is not an insult to the person I'm going to say I'm going to compare him to. I don't want Casada to be Patrick Zurcher. Patrick Zurcher is Patrick Zurcher. This looks like a
I
Patrick
was
Zurcher.
I was going to say Steve Epting, but we're thinking
Right.
along the same lines.
Yeah, I want to see if Steve Epting. The reason why the cap run works is because it does look realistic. I don't want Casada to look realistic. That's what not the
No,
Casada that I have 2 3 pictures on my board downstairs. I
yeah,
have hang up. I have a
this doesn't.
Casada poster I'm looking at right there. Boom. I have a little mini poster right there. You know what I'm
Look at
saying? Like
this.
so.
How amazed
There's
were we?
Ash.
Like he kept that style through Daredevil. Daredevil's gorgeous.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Actually,
I
what's
just
funny is that I feel like when they did the Daredevil, McFarlane did like the Wave 3 Daredevil jumping of the Daredevil, like it was a variant for issue 600 because you can't find an easily uh, toyetic version of that. You can't find a Casada version of Daredevil that's not crazy looking. That's the easiest one because it's the most mainstream one, but that was his newer style.
yeah.
But you're right. When I think of that Daredevil, I would think of him like like lying back and his feet are at us, and like the baton. We never thought about the baton. That was his version, Casada's version of a baton throw. We've never seen, just like McFarlane on the spider webbing. Spider webbing technically is Michael Golden spider webbing, isn't that what McFarlane has said?
Kind of.
But then
Golden with Art
it's
Adams.
just just a little bit extra.
God, he made me
Um,
love drawing spider webbing. Like when in my artist days in
oh
the
yeah,
90s.
Yeah.
I'd look forward to it because I love drawing. I love drawing the webbing, and I love drawing the webs on his costume.
Yeah, I
To
think the
me, it
web on
was
the
like a
costume I was really good at. I feel like I was
yeah,
really good at
same,
that. You know.
same. I love
But
drawing wacky poses of Spider-Man. Like McFarlane made Spider-Man so much fun to draw.
see, like this panel, I think this is more old
I can
Casada.
see
This is
that.
Ninjak, but then down here is feels very, you know,
Like,
feels
I'm
very
excited to read
new.
this book. I guess it's set in the future, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think it states that like T'Challa dies. You know what I mean? That
Okay. Spoilers. Like,
I
I
think
hope it
it's
does
right at the
touch
top.
on the Marvel Knights universe. Like, I hope like number one is Black Panther centric, maybe two is Inhumans, three. I don't know. I literally don't know. But like
Doesn't
Christopher
seem
Priest,
like
why
it's
is Christopher
anything but
Priest getting second? Did Joe Quesada come in and rewrite it?
no. No, you're right.
Because
I don't know.
Priest, it's always writers first because it goes in the order of creation:
Mhm.
writing, penciling, inking. The only time I would put an artist first is if he like co-plotted it or plotted it. You know,
Yeah, like when Pacheco took over Fantastic Four with Rafael Marine, like it was Pacheco and then Marine scripted, and then actually it was that those were storytellers. And Jeff Loeb was three
right?
after
Because
a while,
he was dialoguing it.
right? Yeah, Jeff Loeb came in and polished it. Well,
Right.
great. That's one. I love that run. I love that run. I have some surprise stuff later
Jeff
uh,
Loeb
on some Pacheco stuff.
said
By the
he
way,
would
good
write.
stuff.
Jeff Loeb said he would write Fantastic Four for free or for $1. So when he scripted that first issue, they jokingly sent him a paycheck for $1.
Oh wow, that's
But like
awesome.
Jeff Loeb's like, yeah, that's not really my Fantastic Four run. That's me helping out an artist. I have yet to write my Fantastic Four run. And you know what, Mark? That's not an impossibility. We thought Jeff Loeb was like teetering out, but he could be doing a victory run. He's
Yeah,
got two Batman books going on simultaneously. He's doing the Age of Apocalypse for Marvel. Ryan North
little.
is going to probably. We'll talk about Ryan North later, but I feel
Yeah,
like he's closer to the end than the beginning. He's already got what 30 issues of FF under his
yeah.
belt.
I'll talk about that when we talk about
All
because
right, we'll talk about this.
I have a theory on that. So,
Okay, well,
but
let's.
new podcast coming. So every Wednesday, so they're going to adapt stories they didn't stunt cast this. So when you look at this is High Volume Batman. It's going to be a new podcast launching.
Mhm.
Let's see. But what I think is kind of cool about this, they're going to do a four-part adaptation of Batman Year One. So you would think that it's probably issue by issue. But all the people that are here, I
Mhm.
don't recognize any of the people. So there's no stunt casting here, which is fine. Number one, you're not going to have to pay these people extra. The only one that I thought was like stunt casting a little bit, which I don't think is going to be much, is Kevin Smith as the Penguin. Everybody else is
Oh, that's cool.
they're just people that worked on things,
Yeah, it's
or
just. I
small
mean, probably
actors,
people who like you'd recognize, but they're not. Yeah, they're not anyone yet.
or they're just I don't know,
Like I said, we
like
could rec.
or it's cartoons. Like this guy, the guy's Batman is cartoon. Justice Arcane. That's pure cartoons. Next Gen, I believe, is pure cartoon. That's a minor actor, Mike Starr. I don't know, the minor actor in either. So, but yeah, I'll take it. I'll see. I didn't actually like listen to the trailer or anything like that. I'd be curious to see.
I like the kid
But
who played Alfred on the Pennyworth TV show. You ever watch the Pennyworth TV show?
no,
It's good.
I feel like they
It's
just
actually
diluted
it's
it. You know.
you know what it is. It just feels like Michael Caine. It's like a Michael Caine show as a teenager. That's what it feels like. Like and it's good for that reason. And the guy's trying to do a slight Michael Caine impression, and they keep calling it. What's funny is like he's playing Alfred Pennyworth, but
Mm.
people keep calling him Alfie. I'm like, that's funny. Michael Caine, Alfie,
Oh
get
yeah.
it?
Okay. Yeah.
Well
No, that makes
casted, good
sense.
stories. You know,
What was that? Was
that's
it on Stars?
it was on something weird, like maybe the DC app or something. And then I think Max got it. Max got the third season. It feels very like Matthew Vaughn, Guy Ritchie.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you
Okay.
know why it feels like Guy Ritchie? What's the name's on the second season? The redhead guy who's in a lot of Guy Ritchie movies. He plays Jekyll and Hyde in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh
Like
yes.
Jason something or other.
Yeah.
I like
Jason
him.
Wood, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, something
that
like that.
sounds right. This art looks like it's funny. It looks like it's an action figure. Looks like J.D. Jones. Like it looks like
It
there's a
does look like
handful
J.G.
of things
Jones.
here, but I don't know if it's credited. But hey, man, we'll try it out. Listen, podcasts are very popular. If they want to make money doing it, sounds good.
You know,
Um,
podcast isn't that popular.
Ours.
This one, baby.
This one. It is with us, you know.
It,
Listen, it's a way. I was talking to my dad
you know who
last
it's
week
not
about it.
popular
It's a
with?
way for us to hang out for 3 hours
Mrs.
a week.
Messick.
Yeah,
Mrs. Messick
it's
is
not
like,
popular. I don't know. Some weeks it may be popular. Some weeks it's like you can have them. You can have them. Please have
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And I'm like, no problem. Um, so here's some good news. So this is very good news. So
I'm
this is the
excited about
new
this.
history of the DC universe. That's a Frank Cho. So we have
Beautiful.
initially Asomni. I think that's a variant, but I think the way they price this, I don't know if I have it in here, is a little funny. They have, I think the main book is $4.99. If it's cardstock cover, it's $5.99. The wraparounds are $9.99. It's like it's a lot of pricing on this thing, right?
There's something about DC and having the Frank Cho, Chris Samnee, Dan Mora, like there's
Look at
a
that. Woo.
it's very reminiscent of like the Darwin Cook era. Like you and I obsessed. We love Darwin Cook. These guys love Darwin Cook. I wish they'd get David Bullock in there. Like I like David Bullock. I was
Doesn't
kind of
he
friendly with
live
him
around
for a
here?
while.
Or
He
he's
did.
not
He
here
did.
anymore.
He grew up in like Medford area, and then he moved to California. Became an animator on all things DC
Hmm.
with Darwin Cook. He was friends with Darwin Cook. He moves back. I become friendly with him, and then I think he went back to California. I think his parents had passed or gotten sick, and nice guy, nice wife, like
Yeah.
really nice person. Run a
Yeah,
hashtag
I
David
like
Bullock.
his style, but he falls in that like like you said, Darwin Cook.
He he was doing a Conan style book. You would have loved it. He was on a Kickstarter. I don't think it ever came to fruition. I'm
I
gonna,
think
you
I
know,
saw art for that.
yeah, I think I want to reach out to him. It
I,
was like I forget the name of the character. I think it began with an R. Yeah,
I'll
I
write
should
it
reach
down.
out to him. You know what it is? I just forget about people sometimes. Like something's got to remind me of them.
Yeah, I mean, like I think this is really cool because I wonder even with this here. So we're going it
That
in.
looks like it could be a stand up, like that Wonder Woman, like this, like the
Yeah,
Dan Moore Superman
Dan Moore
stand up.
is really solid as far as the character work, but this kind of reminds me of like okay, so in current DC universe, we don't know this. This is actually why this book's gonna be very helpful. Um, in post Zero Hour, if Wonder Woman was in the JSA, that was her mom, right? Didn't they
That was a
didn't do
John
that?
Byrne idea.
Right. Okay. So Hippolyta was like Wonder Woman 1, basically,
Yes,
post Zero Hour. But that's
correct.
thrown away when it goes to Rebirth or New 52 or both. You know what I mean?
Right,
Or
right.
whatever order that it
Well,
goes in. Those kind of get blurry for
New
me.
52 blurs it up, but then
Mhm.
Rebirth, post the first Wonder Woman movie, reestablishes that Wonder Woman had been around since World War One, making her the first DC superhero.
Yeah, right. They
I
they they
don't,
they Captain America her.
yeah, I don't love that. It
Okay.
fits great with the story. It's fine. But like to
Mhm.
me, you always need to figure out a way to make Superman the first superhero. He
Mhm.
legit was your first superhero. Figure out a way.
Right.
I have a way in my head. I'm like, I wish I could reach out to Mark Waid, be like, Mark, dot 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 dot. Like I
Yeah,
have a
because they're
Superman story.
clearly they're
I
gonna because they kind of have it in the first superhero in a lot of these books. It's like Golden Age Green Lantern. You know what I mean? Like that's what they kind of have
Yeah,
that
he's like taking
as a
Superman's
lot.
place. And I'm like, I don't like that either.
Right. Right.
And he
And then
wasn't even
Flash,
he wasn't even a DC character. He was a All American, right?
All American. Yeah,
He wasn't a National Periodical Publications character.
that's funny.
Wrong.
I think I
I mean,
found a
technically
better
speaking,
version of this.
Shazam predates Green Lantern. I think.
Correct. I think that's right. Yeah, I believe that is right. So good on
Which
Scott Koblish getting a job. Like I imagine. I
he's so
wonder.
good at
I
this.
guess you get paid. I don't think you get paid more. Can you imagine like how long it takes him to do something like this? There's a
Well,
Deadpool one that I have that I think is a record. I wonder if this is going to beat that record because that I think is the record, the Guinness Book of World Records, Deadpool, where it's like I don't know how many hundreds of characters are on it, but I believe he holds the record for this. So I don't know if he's going to beat that every time. But yeah, you can
you got to
zoom
have
in on
more than.
this like
Isn't there
crazy.
500 characters on the Perez Alex Ross Crisis cover?
I don't know.
I
I
feel
think you're
like
right, but that to me that's not a real published cover because that cover was on the
Absolute.
archive edition and there's been on the absolute, but it's not 2 pages. It's not a I don't
Correct.
count that,
Correct. It could be technically like five
and
covers.
it's a collection, right? So it's so I don't count that.
All right,
Let
that's
me
fine.
go back here.
We'll abide by your rules
Uh,
for that.
so this is Ryan. So I actually thought this was Nicole Scott at first, But yeah, I mean, it has like so we have Atomic Knight.
This is very
Uh,
reminiscent of the actual history of DC Universe. Isn't that the similar
yes.
poses?
Yeah, I want to say that there is a that shape like that, like
Did
almost like
you did you get the
shape.
graffiti designs hardcover of the
I did, and I sold it because it I made a lot of money off of it. I
no,
bought it for like $15.
I did the same thing
Yeah.
because everything in it was available on like the last digital version of that.
Yes.
Graffiti Designs made the best hardcovers in the 80s,
hmm
and that was one of them. And
they had the Watchmen, which Absolute Watchmen took some of the material from that and then went in there. So
right, you had the Electra Lives, right? Hardcover, that was gorgeous.
yeah, she's gonna make appearance every time. That's Bips. That's Gypsy.
Gotcha.
There we go. So I think this was kind of cool. This is a this you know this. What is this a callback to?
Is it a world's finest? Because it was two kids, right? Two boys. Look it up.
I think there was a World's Finest to that, but I also think that there was the Wow cover. But wasn't there? Was it in the 9/11 book?
They did it again in the nine. They Alex Ross did it. I see. Is it Superman looking up at like firefighters and such?
Yeah, it's like a billboard of
Yeah,
firefighters and stuff. Pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So
It was
that's good.
great.
But this is a Ryan Sook. Looking at Ryan Sook artwork. This is a Ryan Sook artwork. And again, I feel like it feels a lot like Nicole Scott because Nicole Scott recently did like I think a Wonder Woman, like a bunch of characters all together. So,
Yeah.
but this is 4 issues. Jerry Ordway, Todd Nauck. Now, normally we would kind of like, oh, Todd Nauck, okay, but Todd Nauck, when he did that last issue of JSA, which was a Stargirl,
Right.
something happened. I don't know. He went elevated up a little bit. So I
I,
actually really
I
want to
wonder
see
who inked
that.
it. Was it like Norm Ratman or
I think he inked it.
did he ink it?
It might have been Norm Rappin. You might be right. Yeah, it might be right. But like but yeah, so I'm pretty happy with all of this, and then a series of wraparound covers depicting DC's iconic covers each issue by Scott Kolb. So that's probably a year's worth of material for Scott Kolbos to do. Scott Kolbos been around a long time, man. He did work for What the like he's been
Yeah.
anchoring for
Oh
a
yeah.
long time. He inked and did fill-ins on Deadpool during that Duggan run quite a
Right.
bit.
Until he took it over.
Yeah. I only put this on. I don't care about the 3 series part of this, but I think having this red shirts, and I do want to say that Christopher Cantwell, which he was just in North Jersey at Main Street Comics, he had a book come out this week, but I forgot to read it. Out of Alcatraz, it's supposed to be pretty good. I didn't really care about that Texas Blood. I think because my brain is trying to have that's Jacob Phillips drawing that Texas Blood, but I feel like it's similar to Sean Phillips, and it's like this guy's ripping off Sean Phillips. It's Sean Phillips' kid. I get that,
Yeah.
but I can't. It's not as good. I don't know. It's not as dynamic. There's something in the dynamism of it that's not quite there. That I don't like it. I just have to maybe try to give it a year or two and maybe go back to it. I wasn't in the mood for Western when I started reading that anyway.
Yeah. You
Um,
gotta be in the mood. I like Cantwell. What did he give us? He gave us what, the Doctor Doom series?
yeah,
He gave
yeah.
us.
He's doing
I
all
think
the
that
Wolverine now.
his Doctor Doom miniseries is like fantastic.
Mm. Fantastic,
Fantastic.
fantastic. Fantastic. But
It is.
I always like I don't know. It's very pop culture that we know what a red shirt is. The red shirt, like I feel like I knew that when I was a kid, or my dad mentioned it. It's like, oh, if it's like it's Kirk, Spock, and a red shirt. It's a guy you just met that
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
means he dies. So this is just literally a mini series or about you know,
Was it was
but
it was it was it a young Sam Rockwell played a red shirt style character on a
on
what was
next
that
gen
movie? What? No, no, no. He was in a what was the movie with Tim Allen and Sigourney
Galaxy
Weaver?
Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, he's
He
in
played
that.
the
I didn't know that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Um
funny.
yeah, he's
He
like
was
the
in
red shirt
Turtles.
character.
So that's weird. So he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, first
Yeah.
one. He's in that. So he's in these kind of like cult movies for a long time.
Dude. Yeah, we all
That's
love
really
him.
funny.
Dude, he was on White Lotus last week. So he goes on this
Oh
rant.
yeah, because that's Leslie Bibb's husband, right? In real life.
Oh, in real life? Oh,
Yeah.
are they? I don't know that.
Yep.
Good for them.
And yeah, because she was on talk shows this week saying like she had to be really she like couldn't tell she wanted to tell her friends like guess what like no one on set even knew he was going to show up so apparently it was
Yeah, because it's
all
a scene just between him and Walter Goggins, and
right.
he's so fucking. He's not. It's a great scene. Like if you don't
Yeah.
watch White Lotus, you should just watch that scene because he just goes on this rant, and Walter Goggins has to sit through it and listen to him and shake his head like everything he's saying is normal.
Yeah, I think Sunday night's Walton Goggins night because now White Lotus is has had a little bit of jumpstart on the Gemstones, but he's on Gemstones. He's on Righteous Gemstones, which I watched, which
Dude,
has been
it's his year.
yeah.
Righteous Gemstones,
It's a
White Lotus,
Goggin sense.
Invincible, and
That's right.
Fallout.
Yeah, that's right. Fallout technically is kind of bleed over for there, but here's
Dude, he just Fallout. He just looks like Spawn. Like he should be
he's a
like
gunslinger spawn. I love. I think
he is.
the makeup in that that doesn't win. I mean, that was just ridiculous. It was a good show, man. It was
It was
good.
a good show.
It was real good.
I've never played the game, but I enjoyed that show.
Yeah, I'm
I think
curious on.
great casting. The whole thing is like great casting.
Yeah, it's all that because yeah, Kyle MacLachlan is Rose's dad. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
But
it's all
there's
good.
a Declan variant cover B, pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. I forget who did that cover, but really really nice. So I don't care. So just to go back to that real fast. So Strange New Worlds. I don't know. Robbie Thompson. Don't know. He writes for season 4. I can't believe there's that many seasons. And
it's
then there's
good.
Captain Janeway
Wait,
for.
we didn't even get season 3 yet. Just so you know,
Oh, I don't know.
season 3 is coming out. I think this year, maybe like
Geez.
April or May.
So curious, but again, I admire IDW for just trying different things. I admire them on what they're doing with Godzilla and have been doing on Godzilla. So
No, no.
good
Listen, there's a
job.
lot of
Use that
like I
branding.
enjoy Star Trek shows and movies, but the comics always kind of they don't quite bring me in.
Yeah, this to me this was kind of funny. This is like this is not necessarily victory lap by Hickman. It's like Hickman. So they announced essentially the new Imperial series. They're going to have a hidden gem cover of the Imperial. So like again, we believe that this Imperial
The
series
X
by
Men,
Hickman.
the X Men trading card, the Jim
Yeah,
Lee
it's an
X Men
X Men
trading
trading
card.
card, right? So like to me, it's so goofy. Like you take a trading card that's big, you blow it up. It's still cool looking, but still, it does. Even though I know where it's coming from, it's still like, oh, cool. I want. I do believe eventually in time he's
Dude,
drawing X Men. Jim Lee's
these
coming back
Jim
as
Lee
drawing X
cards,
Men.
these Jim Lee cards are as scummy as like Marvel uh, when they were basically putting Kirby covers on every book when Kirby went to DC. It's like, hey, we
Yeah,
got all this extra Kirby artwork laying around. Let's really they really effed over Kirby because Kirby left, and the only way you're supposed to be able to get Kirby is to buy his New Gods books. But then Marvel's
I
like,
see.
hey, we're just gonna reuse artwork and color this stuff laying around, and they just flooded the market with like Kirby covers when he went to DC. And this is kind of like a similar move. Like it's not as scummy. They're not doing it on purpose. It's like, hey, we got 100 Jim Lee pieces of art here that we can recolor.
Well,
And that's
how
the way you
does
got to
that
look at
work?
it.
Like, do they have to pay? So I'm gonna pop up in here. I'm making my little notes because it worked pretty good last week. But did you see that One Nation Under a Doom #1 like hidden gem, which was taken from like a panel from the Doom Doctor Strange Magnola series? It's just from like a panel. It's all blown up, and it's like Magnola's not going to make money off that. It's like a 1 in 50 or something. I imagine Liefeld didn't make any money off of his 1 in 50. You know, whatever it was,
You
one in
know,
50, 1 in 100.
I feel like they got to pay them something because it's like it's no different than a reprint,
Yeah,
and you have to get paid on reprints, I
but are
believe.
you going to get paid?
He
Uh,
might maybe got paid in comps because he definitely got comps for it.
yeah, I saw something recently where somebody was showing off comps. It might have been, I think it was Dustin Nguyen, and Dustin Nguyen who had a little Marvel rant, but his DC comps for he did a variant for Absolute Batman. I want to say that he got like 4 of every cover that he could probably just sell online because again, these are all like ratio variants.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
got 4 of like
There's
it was a ton of comps. I was
I
like,
don't know
wow,
why
that's pretty cool.
Jim Lee drew a Doctor Doom. He's Jim Lee's drawn Doctor Doom multiple times. I think he drew an awesome Doom bust for Marvel Universes down Marvel Islands of Adventure at Universal Studios.
Oh, okay.
It's exclusive. The only time you see that Jim Lee artwork is on like T-shirts.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
but
I used to like the
they should utilize that.
yeah, I feel like Six Flags had some when I was up there years ago that I feel like Six Flags had in their DC shop had like exclusive. I was like, I don't know what that art's from. Like I was confused. You know, I should know where things are from, the way my
Have you
brain works. You know,
have you ever been to Islands of Adventure?
no, mm.
Oh my God,
It's
Mark, you
still there,
should.
right? That's all Adam
It's
Cooper art,
it
isn't there? There's a lot of Adam Cooper. Like,
Adam Kubert and Chris Pichello, and I feel like there's some Bagley stuff there too. They had a comic,
crazy.
exclusive comic with like a Chris Pichello story in it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty awesome.
I
Like that's
forgot
why like
Steampunk.
everything's
Number
and you know
one
what?
was Chromium.
There's no lines for anything because everyone's always going to the new stuff.
Oh, I see.
But like that Hulk coaster is great. The Spider-Man ride is incredible, and the Spider-Man ride is great because it's like not quite the Sinister Six. Like it's the Doc Ock where he had the armor shoulder pads.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, it's
Right.
Scream instead of like Venom. I think it's Hobgoblin instead of Green Goblin. I think it's Hydro Man instead of Sandman, because maybe
Hmm.
Sandman was going to be attached to the James Cameron Spider-Man movie. It's all so it's like none of like the
It's all
major
frozen. Oh,
villains.
that's right. Because it's all frozen in time. Because as long as there's some weird contract in that, right? Where as long as they're working,
Yes.
then they
Also,
don't have to change
they
anything.
can't make new Marvel rides. But I think you should go to Image and be like, hey, we're going to change the Hulk coaster to a Dragon coaster. We're going to change the Spider-Man ride to an Invincible ride.
Yeah, that
We're
works
going to
for you.
change.
Well, maybe that's yeah, but the other ones are
I
not
know
popular. You know
I
what I
know,
mean?
but like the Doom Tower of Terror could be like the Spawn Tower of Terror.
Well, wasn't yeah. Well, I think some people are mad about that. Someone had I think someone famous was mad about they made it into a Guardians. What was the was it the Haunted Tower of Terror or something? And they turned it into the Guardians ride. So the Guardians ride was an old the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Disney California was
Oh, okay.
something different. And then they filmed, James Gunn filmed, and you can go on YouTube and literally watch somebody snuck their phone in, and you can watch like the whole thing. But yeah, that I want to say that was a different, and someone's mad that they changed it. They don't get to have
Dude,
that anymore.
Mark, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot Center is like the craziest. It's like Space Mountain on crack. In
Mm,
fact, I don't even think you could handle it because of the your motion sickness.
no, I
Like,
can't.
like
Just
if you,
thinking
you
about it.
go take a bunch of like
Drowning.
seasickness pills, you're
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
me something. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's new scenes. It's a whole adventure. You're immersed in that world. It's an incredible
I think it's on
experience.
YouTube. I'll just watch it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's on
I mean,
YouTube.
probably.
So,
But like the
but
ride itself is like nuts.
But going
I,
back to this here, I just think this is kind of goofy. Like, so we think is a used old Hickman concept. Now he's getting an old trading card from 1993 or
oh
whatever,
yeah,
right?
true.
Then they're going to re-release this for it's too much. 384 pages for $75 new. That's too expensive. Um, and it's just funny. Like you're going to do
Yeah, you're
like
talking. What are you looking at? 12 issues worth of stuff here. Like
10,
$75 for.
11. Yeah, like it's I guess well, I guess it's yeah, 12,
I
13.
just throw out 12 because that's
Yeah.
384 pages, times whatever.
But I don't understand like I know this book was fine. I liked it. I liked it fine. It's better than Gods, but not that good. Like it's not that great.
So it's kind of good. Like I remember liking it. It's fine. You're in the right mood. Again, comics is really about moods. You know what, Mark? There's comics that come out that are so great. Doesn't matter what mood you read them
Well,
in. They're
yeah, when we
great.
go into reviews this week, I'll explain how I think some of the books this week are like no matter what mood. I
Yes.
think there's some breakthrough books. There's some pretty fantastic books this week, and one I wasn't even going to read, and he told me to read it. So, but here we go. Like it's funny, but see, we this is our favorite Jim Lee talking about how we like this is like Sharpie Jim Lee,
Yeah. This is
like
Jim
you
Lee
know,
inking Jim Lee.
yeah, that's fun. Again, official cover. Uh, I'm excited for this because I think I don't know if I knew the
you
team. So Godzilla, what a shocker,
you just heard
Godzilla.
me gasp because
Because
it's
I'm
Jason
covering a
Aaron
Godzilla book on I don't remember seeing that with Jason Aaron and Aaron Cooter, two
and
of our
Aaron Cooter.
favorites, right? I actually
Two
think this cover,
A two AA Rons.
A Ron, yeah, I don't think his cover is that great. I think his cover is kind of bad,
I
but
think it looks like they're trying to be Eric Powell on that cover. Eric Powell,
no,
by the way,
yeah,
really good Godzilla. He did a bunch of Godzilla covers.
oh yeah, no, I agree with that. But yeah, it's weird. Like I don't feel like this is
It doesn't look like
Aaron
Aaron
Cooter
Cooter.
that I want, but that's okay. Again, but that's more of a traditional Godzilla. The Godzilla here, the Simonson Godzilla is like crazy, and the weird thing about the Simonson Godzilla is we know
We know.
that there is a Godzilla Charlton pitch that was given to Toho,
Atlas. Atlas.
Atlas, and that's right. Yes, it was given to was contracted, and they sent it to Toho, and Toho said no. And there is a 22-page book, probably plus cover of a Simonson Godzilla that we will never see, and that's frustrating. So I wonder if he's drawing his own Godzilla here, because again,
That is
Marvel
a different
barely
looking.
has
Yeah.
editors. So like no one's gonna call Simonson like, hey, I need corrections on Godzilla's snout. No.
Do you think it was Jason Aaron that got this cover done, or you think it was just Marvel?
Sure. No, I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
Jason Aaron made a
know.
phone call, like, because they're buddies.
Yeah, but I think Simonson doesn't say no, technically, if he gets a call. And that's not him being like, hoary in any way,
No,
hoary.
no, it's like, hey,
Um
we're doing the character you're most known for and Godzilla, who you love to draw.
Yeah,
Like,
this is a cool Bradshaw. Bradshaw looking more like Wear and Go, which is fine by me. You know what I mean? He kind of came
yeah, but
from
the
a J.
Godzilla
Scott Campbell.
looks more like an IDW style Godzilla. It's neat looking.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, look, there's so many versions, and then, again, that's a similar thing where it was by accident. You know, here's a bunch of DC solicits, just kind of stuff that I picked that I thought was pretty cool. Again, more stay in the Godzilla world. So, but again, here at DC, this is the license there specifically is it or has to be the legendary, the monster verse.
Yes.
Like it has to be this Godzilla, this Kong. But again, cool because they have Skull Island stuff here, which I think is in the book. And the first series, did you ever read the first series? It's
Yes.
fun, dude. It's just really
No.
fun. But
I
this cover,
all of those legendary,
having a small
like,
and we just saw one that Cooter did, right?
yes.
But this
Yeah.
cover is a million times better for some reason. The coloring, just like, and I didn't know who did it at first. It's Kevin McGuire. It's
Yeah.
really fucking impressive, man. That's really wonderful. That, and I don't think that glows in the dark, but that would be wonderful if it did. You know what I
Would be a
mean?
awesome glow in the dark cover.
I don't
You
believe
know,
that
Mark,
is.
just make it. Just go buy yourself some glow in the dark paint.
Maybe, I don't know, dude. It's so cool. That's such a cool one. Um, this I think. Oh, this is Superman. Whatever, Superman Limited #2.
Oh, okay.
These are all the variants for Superman Limited, but I just love to see Lionel Francis Yu on this
Yep.
because, again, and I don't know what's going on there because I feel like he was Marvel for so long. Is he not exclusive anymore, or what's
I don't
up?
think no, he's not exclusive at all. He got 2 Netflix checks. He's
Yeah,
got 2 properties with Netflix and Mark Miller. So he hasn't had to draw any comics, but he doesn't mind doing the covers.
yeah,
So I don't think he's exclusive anywhere. He doesn't need to be exclusive.
yeah. But you got a Christian Ward, Tony Daniel on the top right here, Steve
We'll take it.
Beach who did some covers, and I want to say it's Ashley Wood, but I don't remember if that's correct or not.
Listen, you can't go
All
wrong
them.
with
But
Superman.
like, look, you got 5 different interpretations, and they're all really good. Also, like Christian Ward, like how bold that is. Like, it's just I don't know. I don't know, but it's probably a paste in or whatever.
It
Don't
looks like
care.
a paste in, and I like it. I like it for that reason.
Yeah, don't care. If you can do it right, if you can angle it right. I've tried to do paste in sometimes on some art, and it's super fucking hard
Yeah.
because you have to just like it's harder. It's like I'd rather just draw it, and that's not always great. So here's the Absolute Bane and some cool covers coming out. So Absolute Bane, even bigger than Absolute
Then
Batman,
absolutely,
which is
yeah.
kind of crazy.
This is going to be a
Um,
crazy ass fight.
that's going to be
Although,
really fun.
hopefully, he doesn't beat him by gently tapping the tube. That is
Yeah,
the ending. Gently tapping the tube just falls out. I'm like, was it even?
yeah,
It was just I hate love Batman and Robin the movie.
yep. That's pretty bad. This is Gerardo Zaffino who did some Conan work. Um, just I love it.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
great.
Here's Andrew McLean doing absolute Flash issue cover. Sophie Campbell's cover to Supergirl too. Great. I feel like
Awesome.
this almost looks like this is like an. I don't know. I don't think it is, but I feel like this is very much like
What a
an Adventure
parody of a comic
Comics.
too. Oh, it's great. Boring small talk is what a great way to.
Yeah, maybe they'll throw something in there. Maybe this is just a temp cover, but I feel like
They
this
don't have to.
feels like the Adventure Comics Supergirl presents Supergirl, like right in that era where it's all like the Mike Stokowski covers, and like it might have been Denny O'Neil or somebody doing the interiors. I don't know if this is. I feel like that they almost spoiled some story elements. There might be something here because this is Absolute Flash. No, I feel like this is Absolute Flash. Maybe
Or is
that's
it no? It's
wrong.
Barry Allen Flash from year one during the Williamson Porter
Okay.
story, right? Isn't that what he
No,
what he
yeah,
I
you're
think?
right. You're right.
All right.
Yep. But you have
But
zero
you
year
got
Batman here,
yeah, but you got
right?
Abin down at the bottom, and you got Electric
Okay.
Superman. So this is like a weird taken from. Oh, you got Thunderman from or Wonder Man,
You
whatever they
have
want to
you
call him.
have Dick Grayson, World's Finest Robin here. Okay. You
Wait,
have
or
the
is that Tim
Terrifics.
Drake? Yeah, the Terrifics.
No,
Yeah,
I actually I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like this is because this does go through World's Finest. This storyline is going through World's Finest. And I don't know if they've had Batman Beyond there, but yeah,
I'll take
Electric
it.
Superman. I don't even think I saw when I think you just told me. I don't even think I saw that, but
And then Peter David, Aquaman.
I guess I think that because the Flash well, not really. Like again, we haven't really seen the Flash costume like in print. We've seen some covers for it, but we haven't seen
Yeah,
that
yeah.
costume yet. So
So
anyway,
yeah,
I'm
I
good
think
with
that's
it.
It's good.
This was a better scan of that. I think I found a better of, and even this I think some of the res is wrong. So even just looking at this of the history of the DCU, the Scott Koblish cover, I'm trying to think if I see someone that I'm not too sure. Is there two Supermans on here or just one?
Only the one
Just
jumps out
Golden
at me.
Age.
Is there any other character you've seen that there's two of? And is
Mm,
each character drawn like their first appearance?
yes.
Yes, ish. I think
Yeah, that's like a Sprang.
it's a Kane Sprang.
Kane
Like
Sprang.
it's not quite first appearance, but it's close.
Who is next to the Ray up top? I don't know if I
Up
know who that
top,
is.
Black Condor. What are you
Maybe.
talking about? Is that original? That's the original Black Condor, right?
Yeah, that may be right. You have Hawkman, Hawker all looking at each other. That's hot. That's pretty fun.
Yeah. So cool.
Pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot to digest. We could probably do a whole episode on this thing.
Probably.
You know. Anyway, good job. I
But
don't know how long that's taken. This is not final art, which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see and not these covers not done. Frank Joe's
I
working on
love
it.
Frank Cho. I've always loved Frank Cho. Always been really nice to me when I've talked to him, and I've been talking to him since 2001 Baltimore, which is I think the second Baltimore Comic Con
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
was like just coming out. But he
So,
knows how to design a cover. That's how you do a cover.
yeah, Panosian's up there too now. It was pretty great Panosian.
Panoche's
Um,
phenomenal.
this cover, this is a Jorge Fornes cover. I don't know if I care
For
about this
Mr. Terrific
series at
Year One.
all. Yeah, I don't know if I care about this at all,
I
but
don't know.
like
How is Al
it's
Letson as a writer? I'm not. I'm
I don't
not.
know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So Delandro I'm good with. This was I guess I'm a little confused. So there was a Robin and Batman book by Lemire and Nguyen, and then now they're doing it again, which I thought was going to be a sequel, but now he's doing a Jason Todd one. So I wonder if they're going to have a third one where it's going to be Damien. That's kind of neat. You know what I mean? I never read the other one. I think I've read the first one, but I think there was might have been a delay in issue two. So
Who
Robin
drew
and
this
Batman.
cover?
John McCrae. Yeah,
Okay.
really cool. Really neat
Really
looking.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's and then
So Dustin
having that
again.
letterbox. That's a 60s, 68 through 71 maybe. I want to
Oh,
say
the
that a lot of the
checkerboards
Batman, the checkerboards. Yeah, that was on a lot of the
and
Batman
Superman.
Superman.
It was just a DC thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dustin again. Did he really draw this?
not this.
Yeah.
He
Right.
drew,
Not this variant.
no, I don't think I put his art up
All
in.
right.
That's his stuff up here. That's like his paint. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. The Robin and Batman was the first story was just straight Dick Grayson, and it's primarily, and I thought it was Black Label. Maybe this is not Black Label. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
It's like can be in and out of continuity. I'm not too sure. I just think it's kind of cool that now we're getting to a different that we're going to get a different Robin where we're not doing like another Robin
I don't.
and Batman.
Do you think the Cuckoo? Because he looks like Cuckoo Man from the Mighty Heroes.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Mighty Heroes, Strong Man,
Mm.
Diaper Man, Rope Man, Tornado Man. It was a cartoon series on.
Yeah, I remember they had one issue of a comic. Does that sound right?
Yeah,
I'm looking
Marvel
at
put
that
out.
cover.
All right,
Yeah,
one modern issue of the comic, and by modern I mean 90s. And I feel like did Rorik Tyler draw that? I think.
that seems right. Which is right in the Rory Tyler wheelhouse.
And
Was a what from what coming from what the
coming from what the End Crack magazine, and here's a magazine you'll never see, or maybe you have. It's called Disgusting Comics. Came out in the late 80s. It was like they were trying to be a little more hardcore than Mad and Cracked, but Rorik Tyler had a pen name called Bo Badman, and he did some stories in that.
you need to do a spin-off miniseries of all your parody friggin' knowledge, like all of your
It's so
man.
ridiculous.
That'll be a whole other section, you know. This is Zoe Thorogood, which I think is pretty cool.
We
Have her
love her.
get
She's a
some
good writer,
work.
great artist.
This would seem really hard, I think, to draw. Jeez, now I'm just like really looking at it like a little further. I mean, that's all cool pacing. She's really good. She does a lot of mixed media. She's really wonderful. And this is Jamal Campbell, and all the other covers are good. And we didn't. I don't think we talked about it on a previous one, but they're doing all these variants, which were DC postcards. They're doing Perez variants.
All right.
I'm hoping.
Okay.
I feel like they should make a bigger deal about that, and make sure again that that's going to like Perez estate. You know, going to Perez's wife. I know
Yeah,
that.
we've discussed in the past about how If there's any artwork out there that is unused, get it. These are
But like,
postcards.
yeah, because
Perez
this
had
has never
Perez
been
had
on
Perez
anything,
had print
correct?
sets. You
Hmm.
know, What Savage Beast, the Peter David Hulk novel, has chapter breaks drawn by George Perez, and they're really nice looking. Like, use that stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too much. I know that Nick ran art auction on Friday. Nick Barucci of Dynamite through the Experience live stream. So he sold a lot of art, but there was portions of each thing that he sold went to Peter David right
Did you
away.
say he
You
was?
know what I
Did
mean?
you say he had some Dale Keown Hulk pages?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see
I
what they
hope.
went for. They
I
had some
hope they went for
Andy
a lot.
Kubert. I think Dark Knight's metal pages and like or cover. Like there was a pretty good stuff there, man.
Nick,
So
what a good guy. Like he doesn't have to do that.
it's very fast when he does that too. He did. I helped work one of the auctions where things went to Perez Estate. I was at the office for that. This I think is a weird facsimile edition, Action Comics 775. I don't know. This is a very. I feel like this would be a very dated story. This story was a commentary, was a Superman commentary on that timeline of like everything was Ellis and Miller and the
Right.
Authority
It's a very
and
authority style team.
all these grunge teams, these gritty teams, and I always hated that it was a Tim Bradstreet cover too because it's Doug Mank interiors. I hated it.
I know
So
because we love Doug Monkey, and Doug Monkey does incredible covers.
yeah,
And
and
it's
I
like
even
Tim
forgot that
Bradstreet.
Bermejo. I can't even remember what Bermejo did in that book. I don't even know. All I can think about is that issue, and I just think about that Doug Mankey. But to me, that just basically doing a parody of the Authority, which were called what
The
the
Elite.
the Elite, and then they even have a miniseries like later on,
Yes.
and
And they
now
made an animated movie
yeah, I don't know,
based
it's
around
just
the story.
unnecessary. Yeah, I just felt so, I don't know. This might be something. Did you see this? And I
No.
want to see what this looks like. So this is Absolute Death of Superman, right? It's a regular Absolute Edition. Sure, okay. 125 bucks standard edition, 150 direct market edition. Now look at this. It says this edition is housed with a resealable black poly bag marked with a bleeding S. It features a funeral box with replicas of the memorabilia included in 75. Got it. I
He,
took that's pretty cool. News Time,
I wore
remastered
the
News Time.
armband to school. Did
I
you?
did too. Yes, I did. Yep, which is really funny. And people are like, "What's that?" I think I went to Catholic school and they were doing like that.
Oh my
They're
God.
like, yeah. But it says the direct market edition
That's
standard
like worshiping a false god.
edition held in Superman's tombstone, a recreation of the famous cover with openable hatch and bury the book. I need to see what this looks like.
I
Exclusive
gotta
to
see what this looks like.
1,993 copies, and this one-time only set comes with a signed copy of Dan Jurgens' original design for Doomsday. So that means Dan Jurgens is going to sign 1,993 things. Okay. Hey, man.
But well,
Listen,
wait a minute. Didn't it come out in '92?
I don't know. I don't know. I think if they're putting it here and they're saying it's 1993, it was 93. You're sure it's 92?
I thought it was my junior year, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it was my senior year. I don't remember.
But this says it has 200 pages of never before seen artwork, brand new essays, scripts, retrospectives, trading card gallery. Ooh, so that's in our. When does that come out? Christmas, Thanksgiving. So it's my Thanksgiving gift to myself. I
Okay.
thank you, Mark. Here you go. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that I can't not have this. You know what I mean? Like this. That's
No, it
just
sounds really neat.
it's right up my alley. I guess this is a 2017 cover. I don't really remember the Dave Finch cover. I just think it's really nice, and it's Danny Miki Inks, really beautiful. I do think it's weird that I believe that this Batman logo is the Jorge Jimenez logo, so I don't feel that, and that was not the logo of his Batman run. I don't know. It just annoys me. Stuff like that just annoys me. Like put the Batman logo of the Batman run, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so though. I do like these
1992, Mark.
wraparounds. What?
I just checked it. 1992.
So what's he doing 93 for?
I don't know.
Just one more. One more. I
That's
love
the
these.
artist. One more is the artist proof edition.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, so I just love these Kelly Jones wraparounds on these. I'll see if I can find right Nightfall
You know how
wraparound.
also I know because Liefeld likes to tell the story that like month 3 of Image, they put out 7 comics and it sold more than the entirety of all DC's publications. They put out 7 books the same month,
Oh, that's right.
and just
Yeah.
destroyed and like sold more than DC's like 50 comics. So that's when
Funny.
they had their meeting and like we got to do something and let's kill Superman. Although DC tells a different story of like they just happened to be in a meeting and came to the same conclusion of a story.
I think I want to reread Night's End. I'm very curious to see because essentially as soon as they made Batman a different person, they had to have a timeline. How long are we going to get away with this? Just like when they killed Superman, how many months are we allowed to get away with not having
Now,
Superman in this book?
now this was 93 because they did
Hmm.
this after the death of Superman.
Right, right. What are we going to do to Batman? So they break
What are we going to do
Batman's
to
back.
Batman? And then it was like Marvel's like, well, what are we going to do to Spider-Man? It was
Clone
kind of
Saga.
well, they were remember the rumor was they were going to kill him, but that wasn't like it was just a rumor thing.
I don't know. I'm keeping something anyway.
Keep
All right,
keep something.
gonna keep it. Keep it in my brain. This one was pretty fun. Yeah, this is one of our. This is a celebrated timeline of this. The City of Tomorrow compendium. I think the compendiums are a little too expensive, but it's definitely a lot of bang for your buck. This is a 1,000 pages for $60, and most time compendiums before they come out, you can go on in stock trades or organic price books and get them for like 60% off. So that's the only
Ed
way.
Ed
Would
McGuinness is
highly
in my
recommend this.
top five modern Superman artist.
Yeah,
Top 10 Superman
yeah.
artists of all times. Personal opinion, like just as a favorite, just something
This
about
is
him.
yeah, this is a great time. This is actually not all of his Superman books too, which is kind of crazy because he did kind of two runs. This is the first part, and then there's a little bit of break after the R Worlds at War, and then he goes back to Superman for a little bit. So, but again, you have a ton of great art in here. You have, I think you have. I think there's the Action Comics that I really like in that, the one we talk about a lot with him and Wonder Woman that Tom King ripped off and had him
Yes. Yeah.
and then and I talked about in interviews, like if you rip it off, just rip it off. Don't tell anyone that you got it
Yeah.
from this. So, but yeah, but it has a Superman Y2K, which I don't think was ever reprinted. That was a cool one shot.
It was a good one
Yeah, I
shot.
don't feel like there's no good like McGinnis reprint of this stuff. I feel you can read everything on the DC app, but I think having it in the big chunk wouldn't be too terrible to
Yeah,
have.
that'll be fun.
Here's some Marvel June solicitations for Marvel stuff. Just kind of grabbed a handful of things. There's a Godzilla uh, uh, Howard cover, and I wonder if
Always love it.
is this like fake? I wonder if that's like him just drawing on the board, or if they're going to clean that up. If they're going to have him clean that up. But again, this is the classic Godzilla. This is the again Alred created all his Madman logos. So him drawing this, he's literally drawing
He's
this,
drawing that
which is
logo.
really
Yeah,
wonderful.
you could tell it's
Even the
already. Yeah.
TM, even the Marvels is drawn, not approved by the Comics Code Authority. I just think it's great. Albert's having that much fun. This we kind of talked about. I do think. Oh, the reason I put this on here is that you mean to tell me this is a pretty big book, right? I feel Casada may have left, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I feel like he left almost like when Jeff Johns was leaving DC and they didn't really promote Jeff Johns shit for like a year.
Right.
They didn't really put any stuff behind it, as he was doing Geiger and shit because they knew he was out. I feel like you mean to tell me that every solicit shows at least four out of this, and there might be some that aren't done that are slotted that are not done. I get that when the solicits first come out, but where's this art? Seriously, variant cover: Dan Panosian, Greg Capullo, Sway is a big famous, Simone DeMeo, Sanford Green. I can't see any of those. What do you mean? So to me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe CB has nothing against Casada, but I feel like if Casada makes a phone call and like he either has something and they have to put this out for
So
him, or this was approved a
we
long time
don't
ago.
we don't know if every issue is about a different character or not, right?
We don't. We just know that what I like about this project essentially is it's the opposite of the Superman book that Hitch and Wade did, which came out, almost 18 months ago, number one. And number two just came
Right.
out this week. So
So
this isn't going to be late. All of his books typically, Daredevil Father was late. I believe last issue was 2-3 months late.
so if they're doing a different character each book, this negates what I'm about to say.
Mm.
But if this is a Black Panther centric story, where's your Mark Texiera variant? Where's your
Yeah.
Jay Lee for Inhumans variant? Where's your let's go down the list of other
Yeah. Where's your
event.
guys?
Where's your David Mack cover? Where's your
Where's your
you
Bernie
know
Wrightson cover?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? You're not wrong. That's not a joke. There's Bernie Wright and stuff out there that's never been
Hmm.
printed.
Yeah.
Why aren't you
No.
finding something? You
Can I
know,
have a hidden gem, Bernie Wrightson?
please, please, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Hidden
where's your
gem.
Marvel Knights? Where's your Marvel Knights guys? I don't know.
You're not gonna hidden gem this thing? Come on,
Come
man.
on. You
It's
don't you
right
don't have
for it.
something by Tex? You and I we're so obsessed with we love Tex.
I got a big
You
tech
know?
stack over
I
there,
don't know
man.
if he's I don't know if he's retired or not.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't
I gotta
know.
send you I got an independent book by him. It's pretty good. It's like R rated, but it's pretty good.
Mm. There's a Kevin Eastman variant here. Pretty fun. I just
Phenomenal.
like that, Kevin Eastman's a gigantic Kirby fan, so I just like he's doing the
Yeah,
Kirby handout to you, which is pretty cool. Again,
I love
just
it.
like, but look how terrible who this glue on logo, Doom. Like, I mean, this
Oh, the
is so
Doom looks
lazy.
bad. Doom looks
That's
bad.
lazy.
Kevin
It's so
Eastman,
bad.
Kevin Eastman, what they have in common, Kevin Eastman's one of these guys that you look at and you're like, can I draw comics? Kevin Eastman can draw comics. That's not a slant against Eastman. It's like he's like a stepping stone, the way like Liefeld's a stepping stone, the way McFarlane's a
Hmm.
stepping stone. We looked at those guys and says, maybe I can draw this. Not that they were lacking talent, but like I don't look at Alex Ross and go, maybe I can do that. No, it's ridiculous. It takes years of studying paint, or at least
Right.
taking an art class in paint. You know what's funny? Liefeld and Fraga, they picked up Alex Ross' painting style like that.
Hmm.
Like they just like, oh, that's how he does it. And they both could like watercolor, like really good.
Do the thin, like, what's it called? The gauche. Like, yeah, do that. No, I get it. Yeah. So it's funny, like looking at these back to back, like this is clearly not that great. Here you have someone who kind of cares. You know what I mean? I feel like this is correct. Having this again, this font with the
You can't
double.
go wrong with the Amazing Spider-Man traditional logo.
No, but this here, that's like the Joe Rosen double. That's like, or Watanabe, whoever.
Mhm.
Um, but pretty fun. I mean, again, I had to kind of deduce. It doesn't say it down here, but I was like, who's drawing Kevin Smith's? And I think it's Kevin Coley's going to draw Kevin Smith. But this got a couple bits of news
I
out there.
think so. I
Yeah.
think you're
Well,
right.
it says here, it says that Al Ewing, Buckingham, and then Zarsky. But what's like, why Al Ewing, Buckingham? Can I have like, is Jenkins on? Did Jenkins get canceled? Is
I think
Jenkins
they,
canceled?
I
Paul
think he
Jenkins
tried to,
canceled?
but it wasn't like anything really cancelable.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know what this says. Giant size meaning Spider, but I feel like that there was. I don't know what the Kevin Smith story was. I think he's doing stories for Marvel in some of this stuff. I think these giant sizes are going to be putting out. I think he's going to have some stories in. So, let's see. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. All right,
Here we go.
so here's
So
the
this,
Spider-Man Wolverine variant.
yeah.
I
Who's
don't
doing
like
this
this
series?
variant. I don't really like this. This is the Carrie Andrews one. Yeah. So here's. I don't think I have the Carrie Andrews drawing of
Okay.
that, but
Okay.
this was what's funny about this is, this is Liefeld's. I'm sorry, this is
Larson.
Larson's.
Larson made
What?
his own mock-up of he doesn't like the way the cover was laid out because
Yes.
the logo's a little smaller. He left them a ton of room up top. Like that's a smart artist. Here's a ton of room. Promote your comic book.
Make this gigantic.
Make it gigantic. You have the room. You
I
know.
think I think Carrie Andrews is asking to have those logos, which is fine because that's the '90s Spider-Man logo. That's the '90s Wolverine logo. Cool.
Yes, I get that.
So that's cool. But yes, it
Then
wouldn't be horrible to
but then
have.
we get Larson's mock-up because Larson's such a '70s comic fan.
Yeah.
He's given us the whole Marvel Comics group, and the little
He's dropping this down, making it
yeah.
bigger, what she said. Popping in the extra corner boxes, basically.
That's this is more fun.
Yeah.
That's a more fun cover.
Do you think he's okay? I feel like he would have trouble with these colors. I don't think he would like these colors. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a job. It's a
Yeah,
job for him.
yeah.
So that's all right. That's a job. This I think is really weird. So this is a hidden gem variant. Was this like a sketchbook? What the heck is this? Like this is that's.
Probably a sketchbook.
I know, but then you color it like, I don't know, man.
It's bad color because I've seen Ramos color his own stuff, and it looks better than this. I did own a bunch of Ramos sketchbooks. Like his sketchbooks they're incredible. So
I don't know. I thought this. I have nothing. I have no problem with the drawing itself. Actually, I really like this belt here with
yeah,
like seeing the side of the X. I like his Wolverine run, the Guggenheim, and this is probably a Guggenheim situation because Guggenheim wrote that run of Wolverine that he did. So here's a Castellini.
it's
Come
really
on,
nice.
man. Come on.
We
But
like
Is anyone? Can you? Where's Johnny's head? Come on, Pete. Just oh god, if this comes out like this, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah,
Yeah, because again, it's just slapped. No one is looking at it because this is if I had the next two, it would be just slapped and slapped. Like no one is looking at the artwork, just the editors slapping it on. That's
can
it.
it's okay if Johnny's in front of fanfare. We know it's Fantastic Four fanfare.
Just put his head. Even if you just put his head,
Just his head or and his arm. Come on.
ugh, it's a four. You can't even. I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell when I first looked at it. But yeah, please give me some.
Yeah,
If
it's right. You
he's, I
you're
couldn't
right.
even
I
tell.
didn't see
You
that.
can't tell.
Johnny's making
Or
a
shrink
big
it
four.
over, or shrink it over to the side, to the left, or
You know, you could
is there a
probably afford to
moon?
shrink. You could probably afford to shrink the art a little bit. I mean, I don't know if this is cut off or not. It's gorgeous art.
Don't know.
Like
Yeah, I'm not too
we're
sure. God, it's good, man. Castellini, Jesus
yeah.
God.
What a weird career. Like he's in comics. I feel like he's got less than 20 comic books drawn.
I have almost all of them. Oh, you know what I'm trying to find, but it's on really bad paper. It sucks. Is Star Wars Tales 1 through 4? He does Darth Vader
Oh, okay.
story.
That's right.
Um,
That was a good book. Star Wars Tales. It was
Star
an
Wars Tales is
anthology
really fun.
series.
Yeah, Star
Dude,
Wars
my
Tales is
favorite
really
one
fun.
is the independent issue because it's like here's a
With
Tony
Dave
Millionaire
Cooper.
story. Yeah, here's
Yeah,
Dave Cooper. Like it's a great issue.
yeah, that's really fun.
So
Uh,
that's
So
good.
we'll see. I don't really know what this book is. I mean, you're stealing the Marvel fanfare, but then you have this. I feel like is the movie logo that Fantastic Four that looks like feels like the movie logo. I know what you're doing. I don't even really know what this book is. I don't know what the lists are. Don't really care. I don't know who this artist was because I feel like I don't know any of the variant artists for
I've seen that
Ultimate
art
X Men.
before.
But I
I've seen
love
it.
this.
It's good.
I just love the color scheme. I think it's very powerful. I have not read an issue of that. I put this on here because I feel like they're doing on the other side. I feel like I think I talked about this last week when we looked at the ultimate trades, the ultimate epic collection trades. I feel like that they have a good look to this, and I feel like if you're going to do the original Marvel years, I think this looks good too. Having this little extra here, it doesn't look like the standard. And I know they're doing Micronauts, and I haven't seen this yet. So it says volume 2. I don't even remember volume 1 being solicited. At least if it was, it didn't have a mock up. It didn't have a mock up cover. So I really love this. And I feel like I'd rather have these like this. I'd rather have the epic collections like this for that. But for whatever reason, I really want the Micronauts omnibuses. I don't know why. I feel like the art's going to showcase a little bit better uh, the Michael Golden stuff there. So I'm happy here.
Yeah.
I want them in this format. But I do think, did I put the price on that? $50, man. God, should do that math. What was it? What was the
No, don't do the math.
all right now.
We have places to go.
Okay.
We
All
got
right.
lives to lead.
All right. So we talked about this before the show. Fantastic Four set to relaunch near the movie to
Right.
me, and you're relaunching with Ramos. Great.
Yeah, we love
However, I feel like this is exactly the same thing that happened to Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker, this
I was about to say Amazing Spider-Man, but go on.
no, the Peter Parker
No, different reasons. Go
Spectacular
on.
Spider-Man, Jenkins and Buckingham had a very like, but Buckingham doesn't move the needle as far as sales, but had these really good personal stories, great, and
Yes.
they canceled that series, and then Ramos relaunches it and never got that steam again. It
No,
never got the
they
momentum
relaunch it.
again.
They bring in Venom right away. It's
It
like they
was
just
editors were
changed the
writing the
book.
book. Yeah,
Yes. I was going to say Amazing Spider-Man because they took the ongoing Amazing Spider-Man happening right now, kept the same writer, kept one of the artists, and then, here's Pepe Larraz drawing it.
yeah,
It's
they
like
took out Pepper Ross. Okay, and
no
Jared Jarrett.
reason
It's carryover.
there's no reason to relaunch it, and and same thing. They're relaunching this book for no reason. The reason they relaunched Amazing Spider-Man was to compete with Batman Hush. The reason they're
Mhm.
relaunching this is because there's a movie.
Right.
But like you're taking Ryan North stories, which are a lot of like small stories, sci-fi short novels. They're kind of neat. It doesn't really feel FF. The family aspect is good. The sci-fi
Mhm.
stories, it doesn't really feel like an FF superhero comic, which is fine. But now you're putting Ramos on it, so now your expectation is it going to be a superhero comic now? That's not what Ryan North has been writing at all. And I don't know what level of success the Fantastic Four comic is, but I guess this One World Under Doom is trying to up the Fantastic Four
Mhm.
and hopefully ride in some of that movie excitement, which there is a lot of. The trailer wasn't watched as much as the Superman trailer, but it has been consistently watched and watched, and people are rewatching that trailer because it's just so interesting.
Yeah,
So
we'll see how the summer's going to play out because that's first, right? This is first, and then it
no,
goes to
Superman's first.
Superman's
Superman's the
first.
11th, FF's the 25th.
They shouldn't be that close, man.
They should not be that close. And Jurassic Park is like July 3rd or something. So it's like, I don't know how good, that's three movies that could potentially each be six to $800 million movies.
Oh, also really funny about this, if you notice, this was released to the Hollywood Reporter, so this was in THR. So this wasn't released to, I guess Newsarama's not a thing anymore. It's not released to Bleeding Cool.
Newsarama.
It's released to the Hollywood THR. You know what I mean? Like, so then the quotes are to THR, told THR.
Youngblood was the Hollywood Reporter too. Well, the Youngblood got announced.
Okay. And then yeah, same thing. That's the First Steps variant. Really good ad. Like that's all right, okay. This is a book that I don't know too much about, but it had kind of a good. I like Leo Max. Leo Max drew. What book was that? Was that Earth X or something X? There was like an Earth X, like
one of the
newer sequels, like a new one that Alex Ross was involved in. Leo Max drew it.
Okay.
And it was good. But yeah, this looks, it just as, I don't know. I just like that for whatever. First off, this cover, the Christian Ward cover, is interesting to me. It's always interesting, his covers, and I really like the way this looks. I like the design of this. I like this Leo Max here. But yeah, the way they described it just seemed really odd and existential, a sci-fi existential, tackles loneliness. So perfect for me. Let's check this out. You know what I mean? Got this
don't read this.
Don't
read this on a day where you don't see your girlfriend.
Yeah, look at this. So like
it looks like a novel cover from like
the 70s.
This
is
like
definitely like
this
is this. This is very similar to
look at that.
A Sprague copy of Ace edition. So this is the Ace logo. The Oni has that. So again, I just think this is kind of neat too. Oni Press established 1997 in Portland, USA, and then this is when it's going to come out. I think I really like that design, man.
That's fun.
That's really cool.
That's fun.
So good job. And then again, always having, this is kind of more of a noir thing. We'll have like a log line, a cover log line, and then the art's like it looks like Panosian meets Dave Lapham. So yes, please. Okay, I want this.
That's funny. Little Dave
Gibbons hair. In there. This was a surprise drop, but to me, I'm just like, what is this? So yet another Spawn universe title. I hate this little circle. I hate it.
It is bad. It isn't. It should have Spawn eyes in it.
Spawn. You know what I mean?
You have a Spawn logo. Skull. Why you have a Spawn logo? It's the eyes in the circle. Utilize that. That is your brand.
Yeah, I think Image blundered their solicits or their official solicits aren't out yet. So like whatever screenshots that Bleeding Cool had, I have screenshots of their bad screenshots. So sorry, but again, I don't have too many of them.
But, so right off the bat, it's Tim Seeley.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a look. Tim Seeley's. He's got my approval. I don't know this character. I guess she was in Spawn at one point 10 years ago, maybe.
I feel like
new...
every character. This is new Priest, right? Was it Priest?
Priest was the
girl.
Yeah, Priest was the Chapel replacement.
Yes.
It's like, Chapel really didn't kill Spawn. It was Priest.
I feel like this is Priest's replacement.
Just like Tiffany was Angela's replacement, and then Gaiman's like, Tiffany's too much like Angela. You can't use her.
Is Cagliostro replaced, or he was allowed?
No, he's
Alan Moore?
No. McFarlane got to retain the rights. When they eventually settled in court, McFarlane got to keep Cagliostro and Medieval Spawn. Like, they made a deal.
Man, that Medieval Spawn Witchblade mini that Brandon Peterson drew.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was so cool.
That was great.
That was
we love Brandon Peterson. And we love
that was a Top Cow production. See, that's what I miss about. So let's break that down. I know we're gonna, let's break down the crossovers then. So the crossovers then, you had Wildstorm doing a Spawn Wildcats crossover, which was Alan Moore, but it was Scott Clark drawing it. So it was Wildstorm.
That was a Wildstorm production.
Right. So you had Medieval Spawn Witchblade, which was essentially a Top Cow production,
Correct.
Is there something else around that?
Yeah. Liefeld did like Rage of the Angels, which was like an Angela crossover in the Extreme Universe.
And that was with Celestine?
Celestine was, yes. She was created in that.
And then had its own series.
And then Celestine got her own series, written by Warren Ellis. but only I think 2 issues came out or
drawn
something.
by Pat Lee. I have the
Pat
first one
Lee.
over there. What
You
was
you
what,
and then you got
what was the
Celestine
parody? Avenge
Glory.
Blade. Avenge Blade was the
Avenge
parody, right?
Avenge Blade was a parody of all that stuff.
That
Again,
was
drawn by Pat
really
Lee.
drawn by Pat Lee, which was pretty good too. It was early Pat Lee. Oh my god, you know what? It's so weird that we talked about Pat Lee in two different mindsets. So
Yes,
earlier we talked about Pat Lee being an asshole and not paying his people,
correct.
and that Val Staples like sold all his shit and paid his people.
Right.
And then I'm like, and then I feel like that's almost like a separate Pat Lee than this new Pat Lee coming up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Pat
Right.
Lee drawing. Shoot, let me think here. What's Pat Lee's progression? Pat Lee is Brigade
No.
Annual
Bloodpool.
Bloodpool.
Prophet number 9. He drew a Prophet issue
Okay.
and tried to draw like Platt. So it was like Prophet, Bloodpool, Avenge Blade,
Oh, I'm thinking of Matsuda did
Celestine.
like a Brigade Zero or something, right? Something like that.
Matsuda, it's correct. Matsuda did Brigade
Okay.
Zero, and then Young Blood Strike File.
But they all had that kind of loose, like circly, like face, etc. You know, so okay,
Yeah, they were messing
that's
around.
fun.
And then when Pat Lee leaves Extreme, he goes and does Warlands, which was like kind of a hit for him.
Yeah, fantasy,
And
sure.
and then he did
Yeah.
Warlands, Ice Age, and then he got the Transformer. Listen, I respect Pat Lee all the way up to the point of Dreamwave crashing. And I'll
Mm.
never understand, Mark, when your company's crashing, but you're still selling comics, what happens? Why are you crashing? If you still have a monthly income, Diamond's still paying you, your books are still selling. Even if they're
Yeah.
selling less, the minute you get that less sales, then you reconfigure whether you hire a cheaper artist or a cheaper color, or you know what I mean, you do stuff to, or maybe they're just so hardcore about getting paid themselves, they don't think about the creators.
I wonder if a lot of it has to do with like facilities. Like, did he have an office? Was there,
They had a
you know,
building.
did
Yes.
they have leases? You know, like it's more about like not getting evicted, so it's going to go there before it might go to people because it's like it's a certain self preservation. I don't know. I
That's
don't
the thing,
envy
man.
him. It sounds
You don't
horrible.
need, in my mind, you don't need a, if you want to rent an office space, I get it. If you want to build a building, I feel like they built a building. Like they made
Mm.
so much money off the original Transformers miniseries, you know. And it's a shame like these stories don't. Matt Moylan, he was the editor there. He does Little Formers, a cartoon series. Now he's in like head of. He's been like ahead of Udon almost since like Dreamwave collapsed.
Oh, okay.
Like he's got a
Mm.
bunch of good stories. I think he comes off a little angry in his tweets though. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure, of course, I would think so. So I don't know what this is. A mini series. This person apparently worked on a couple books here. Patrick Kindlon, don't know, but the art's really neat looking. Maurizio Rosenweig. So a Dylan Dog, a current Dylan Dog artist. So I pretty much for the most part, any Dylan Dog artist has kind of been good. The initial artist, Castellini worked on Dylan Dog for a little bit as well. I don't think any of that's reprinted here. I have some foreign edition scans from the wild seas. But I don't know. It's pretty neat. I do think it's interesting that they're referencing Gun Honey, which is a kind of a minor selling Titan book, but they're like, we're going to get into that a little bit. But the art looked cool. I don't know, the way it feels very like Frank Miller. It feels like Steve Scroach. It's a little bit ugly.
Yeah, it's got some good. Yeah,
It's cool. It's cool looking, and I guess they have a I don't know. I guess I gotta look that up. Frontiersman. Frontier. I can't place what that is, but all right, I'll check that out.
yeah.
This was a little bit of a surprise. We talked, I think, 1 week, 2 weeks ago. Where's Michael Lark as he worked on this? Is the finale, and I think this is what I thought was interesting. Offered again. So Lazarus Fallen mini series premiere, their final series, versus the final series. We don't really have a lot. I feel like you need to kind of put a little more than two tiny paragraphs here. Just throw it in AI or some shit. Like, I feel like, every week when I do my reviews day, I do a little cut and paste. Some of them
Right.
are really big. Dynamite being the best.
Uh,
They have the best. They have the best. Like, this is the story. Here's the creative team. Here's what they worked on. Here's something else. Like, it's 4 or 5 different bullet points. Skybound's the worst. Skybound has one sentence and it has nothing to do with the books. And I think part of that is that you want the surprise factor about that.
He's big on the, yeah. Kirkman's big on the surprise factor.
So
And
I
you know
get
what? Those
that. That's a
books,
studio edict. Sure.
they're not. I don't think they're really sell, except for new issues. They're just trying to keep their audience, so you don't have to really say anything else. You're
Correct.
just trying to keep your audience at that point.
Yeah, I just think it's a little more old school the way Dynamite does it. I feel like this could be a little bit better. And again, these are all mini studios inside of Image, right? Eric Stevens is not looking at this like you need to make it like this. We have the text like this. It's got to go into previews this way.
Right,
No,
right.
this is their own thing. So, but I didn't realize there were 7 volumes of Lazarus. Holy crap! Okay, so I have the first volume still. I have it signed by Lark. I saw him in Philly. I have 2 things signed by Lark. I have that, and I have the widescreen Dean
Show us your
Motter.
lark. You ever
Dean
hear that? It was
Motter.
like an old, I think Lark was
No.
like a cigarette back in like the 50s, and I think it was a Groucho commercial or something. It's
Oh
like,
wow.
that was the catchphrase. It was like, show us your lark.
Oh my god, that sounds creepy.
I know.
But I have the God, I forget what that's called. Shit, it's a widescreen hardcover that Michael Lark drew that Dean Motter wrote.
Oh,
It was like Sunday. It was almost like the Sunday like strips almost, but really good miniseries. But I have that signed also by him. I would like to see him maybe have him draw me a Batman. Draw me a Batman. Here's your Cooper 50. So this is the end of Death of Cooper, and then if you
yeah.
numbered it, this is Legacy 50
Legacy.
basically.
Right.
Uh, and you have a Luke McConnell cover, which I can't see. I don't think maybe it's not here. I don't know if it's here because that looks like there's a wraparound A. So I don't think B is here, right? Because that looks like La Fuente. Yeah, that's La Fuente's signature
Yeah,
there.
that's LaFuente there for sure.
Ah, so we don't have. I want to see what that covers. So Luke McConnell, or maybe let me
That
see.
might be because it's inked by Michel Fife, so it's not going to look like.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I can see. You can see the. You
Yes,
can
you can see
see.
McConnell and Fife.
Okay, okay. But Luke McConnell is the Suicide Squad artist, so that's kind of fun. You're doing, you call a Suicide Squad artist who might not be doing a whole lot. Luke McConnell, who had great run of Iron Man, great run of Iron Man. So that's pretty fun. That's
This is
really good.
great. This was a big surprise. He kept saying there's not going to be a Cobra 50. It's Death of Cobra 1 through 4, which simultaneously went 46 through 49,
Right.
legacy numbering.
He said there wasn't a 50. Well, here it is, number
Yeah,
50.
here it is.
There you
He's
go.
like, F you, everyone. F you, and you're
Does whatever
welcome.
he wants. Does whatever
We'll
he
take
wants.
it. We'll take it.
I again like can I have I had to dig around a little bit for this, so I don't think this is that great. So again, you're doing a half page on a book that I think I have it maybe next story that number 1 sold 400,000 copies.
Let's first off, let's dig into that because that is amazing.
Well,
Absolute Batman,
yeah,
400,000. Jim Lee Batman, 400,000. Battle
yeah,
Beast, close to 400,000.
yeah. But I'll go into the marketing in that in a minute, just because I feel I saw some extra stuff which I don't know if we caught before this. So,
Okay. All right.
but I had to
This
dig around to
book.
try to find some of the art. So here's the Liam Sharp cover. Come
Oh
on,
man.
man. Come
Yeah.
on. Look how fun that is. That's super fun. This is the Tansi Janik cover. Tansi Janik that's the Lobster Johnson artist. So that was
Okay.
really welcome, very welcome for me. Like, yes, that sounds fun. So I mean, again, the difficult part I think with all of this is that if I was buying physical copies of this, it would be really difficult. Be really difficult to buy. I would probably go with Liam Sharp. You know. Uh,
Which is a 1 in 50 to begin with. So you'd be spending
Jeez.
50
Okay.
bucks on
Well,
it
maybe not.
minimally.
Maybe I'll just have
So
a picture of
so what's
it.
amazing
Like,
what's amazing about this book is he what was it 5 years ago? Wait a minute, 2000. We had the Skybound X miniseries in like 2021, which was like the I guess the 10th anniversary of Skybound. All
mhm,
right. And then they do Skybound X, which is like a Images of Tomorrow style book.
mhm,
So Kirkman calls up Otley, says, "Hey, you want to do a Battle Beast short story in this, Skybound book?" Otley's like, "Yeah, sure. I'm exclusive to Marvel, but whatever. What's Marvel going to do? Nothing." He's in the middle of doing his Hulk run. So
mhm.
when Otley finishes his Hulk run, Otley and Kirkman are talking, and Kirkman's like, "Hey, let's do like a Battle Beast one shot." Otley's like, "Sure." And he's like, "I kind of feel this as more of a miniseries." Otley's like, "Sure." And then Kirkman's like, "We could do this as an ongoing." And Otley's like, "Whatever, in for a penny, in for a pound." So
Jeez.
he started working on this in 2022. So he's
Oh
been
wow.
working on this book for 3 years. Kirkman's like, "Hey, he's not as far along as I want him to be, but we're very ahead on this book." And he's taking his time because Otley is penciling and inking this comic. So
Right,
he's
right.
giving his all to this book.
Because even
So,
Marvel, it was Cliff Rathburn came over with him, right?
right, which Cliff Rathburn is a great inker on Otley.
Mhm. True.
He did all the shading for the whole like Walking Dead series,
Mhm.
which they now take out the gray tones to color the comic. So all Rathburn's
Yeah,
contributions to that book
I
are gone.
don't know anything about because Rathburn didn't do that initially, just when Adler came on, or we don't know.
I don't know at what point he started doing it.
Yeah, if Tony Moore did the first handful
But Rathburn
in
is an
tones.
early Kirkman uh, person that they worked together with.
Yeah, the
Like
Kirkland
they
loyalty
did,
is always really fun, except I guess on the biggest projects that he well, Walker stayed with him, but the Tony Moore divorce was stingy, apparently.
yeah. It
Yeah,
must
it's
suck.
a bummer.
We don't know the ends, but I know as like a writer, and you got an artist that does the first 6 issues. He's a creator, but then you go and do like 80 issues with someone else before it even becomes a TV show. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like all the success is really due to Adler staying on for such a long time and then putting out
the
that book monthly
consistency,
and
sure.
getting the trades out. And even though like Tony Moore's super important, like he still get 50%? Like how's that deal work?
Yeah, was
Do
it
you give a
renegotiated or like that's the fight I think that happened. I think like there might have been some type of I don't know. I don't know if there was a non-pay at one point somewhere and there was questions and then it got lawyers and then he basically bought him out
right?
from what I understand.
And
You know.
it's similar. Like whatever happened with Invincible must have happened under better circumstances because
Mhm.
Walker left. They both those guys, Walker and Moore, like we talked about earlier, where we keep referencing older conversation. They both left those book early, like issue 6, issue 7 for
Right. Because we attribute those not with the original artist, which is unlike most books. You know, we don't go Lee and Kirby like, oh, that's for Lee and Kirby, and then we're not like, oh, about Englehart, Pollard. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
not we're
yeah, yeah.
not doing that. But those books were, the first handful, and then
But both of those books got
90%
popular.
of the books are by different artists.
But those books didn't start getting popular till the second artist.
Hmm.
Like
Right.
Walking Dead was slow increments getting more popular, but Invincible was heading towards cancellation.
Hmm.
The numbers weren't good, and then Otley comes on and they do the reveal with Omni Man, and that's when that book takes off.
Right. Right.
So it's like it's interesting. We don't know. We don't know. We're not lawyers. Not a lawyer. Not a doctor.
We're not lawyers. I think I just threw this in. We'll go back to Battle Beast in a couple stories later, but I'm waiting for. I stopped reading this, so this is No Hunter because I want it to be done,
You want a
and
complete
then
story? I get it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I am interested in just the fact that they have like a Medusa coming in and like it's Hercules. It's a Hercules cyberpunk retelling of Hercules. And the first handful I really liked, but I feel like I wasn't getting the thread. I'm going to wait. So I'm excited about that. Here, this is the first I think solicit that I saw. It actually states that it features color by Matt Yackee. I don't feel like it stated that previously.
Yeah, I don't think it. I
But
think
the
you're
covers
correct.
are Juan mode. Right? The covers are I think Juan.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, man.
They're his new cover. It's his new Last Blood colorist usually.
Yeah,
Um,
this is awesome looking, dude. It looks like a new cover. Like I've seen that cover colored originally by Brian Murray. I've
mhm.
seen it colored again by Matt Yackee, and now we're seeing it for the third time, and it looks
Cover
great.
B foil. You have a C TBD.
1 in 25. I don't know if that's going to be new art or
Come
what.
on, man. You probably saw this. This is 1 to 13.25, and then the Golden Bad Girls. I think we're both extra sized. It doesn't really say. It's a 608 pages. It doesn't really say. I imagine there's probably some stuff in here. Local
Do you
Man
think it's
Deluxe.
you think it's ultimate sized? That's a, like
Oh, maybe that would be really cool. It doesn't say. Yeah, that would be cool
Oh wait
if
a
it
minute, it
was
says
if it was
trim
ultimate
size 7 by
size.
10. That's just regular comic size, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Boo.
so. Boo. Do it. Do it up.
Yeah, do it up, man, because this
Uh,
is your omnibus. This is your book that everyone's going to buy and bring to you, and you said it's like 600 pages. Like that's a lot of pages. It should be ultimate
Yeah, I
size.
feel like exactly. Yeah, I think if you're only going to have one of them, like they don't,
Yeah,
they quit their book. They could like they know they may have made a second series and made no money off of it, but they're just like we need to go get paid. So that's why Celia's writing
you know,
things, and that's okay. I'm not mad. There's the Titans list. It's just to do my obligatory Conan's. But again, this goes into your theory of this was a recent sketch. Like in the last so many years, Neil Adams was doing sketches, or so if there's art out there, then do it. So this
do it
was a sketch
because
watercolor.
you and
His
I,
wife still runs a live stream where she still sells prints once a week. I'm on her on Instagram and the Instagram, the Neil Adams Instagram, Neil Adams Art. So his wife and son still sell a good amount. They probably still are at cons. They were always a pretty big con presence at the end. Neil Adams would be extra loud and grumpy to people, and that's cool, I guess. But they
he was
always
cool
had
with
a
me.
big presence, dude. They always had like a wraparound.
A
They had
huge
four
booth.
tables. They always had a
Yeah,
big
they
booth.
probably rarely had to pay for that space because they're just like, well, Baltimore. That's an honor to get Neil Adams at your show.
I hope they paid for space.
I
Yeah,
want to.
but
I want to
I know what
see.
you're saying.
I want to see Neil Adams cable. He drew a cable drawing for Liefeld in pencil, and I'm like dying to see it. Liefeld's
Um,
like, I'm gonna ink it too, just to see just see if I can. I mean, not the pencils. He obviously would ink a copy of it.
this is tough, man. Because I don't know. I would probably get the. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably get the
You know what's
Adams
funny?
cover.
It looks like it's this cover by A. Adams, like it's Art Adams cover, not cover A by Adams.
Yeah.
Like I don't see an Art Adams cover. They should.
Um. Yeah. So Conan
Yo, do you
22.
think they have the rights to do a hidden gem of like the McFarlane cover, the Jim Lee cover, the Art Adams covers, the Marvel stuff? Like if you can find that
I
original art
know.
online,
Oh, I have. Well, I don't have the original art, but the original art of the McFarlane is in a alter ego, uh, Sword and Sorcery issue, and I
yeah.
have it because he signs Todd McFarlane inside the box, inside the UPC, in
Oh,
his like
so
in his name.
he didn't draw a caricature in that
Mm-mm.
particular
No,
box. Boo, McFarlane getting lazy.
depends on time, dude. It's all time, because half the time, sometimes they weren't ever printed, and that's a bummer. Um, yeah, I'll see if I think I have that saved somewhere
All
because
right.
I feel like I mentioned that before and popped it into something before. But here's another. So you have a Federici one. I don't think I put that in there, but I put the Pinozen in there. Does that say foil
Beautiful.
Pinozen? Virgin foil. Woo! You can get a virgin foil of that, baby.
That looks so 70s. It's awesome.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
It's like his face even looks like a little
And
Buscema-ish.
listen, you're doing the cover color scheme differently, and just like it all fits. So I'm not sure if Pinocha was involved in that, or someone at Titan. Again, Titan pays very very close attention to their books, so they probably matched it. But that's so perfectly matched. It's just really really great. He did the cover of this. So this is what we're going to talk about in reviews day this week. But
Oh,
instead of in the
nice.
garden, Ed Gray. They're doing a hardcover, and they have a
That's a nice.
bonus
That's a nice
sketchbook
cover.
section. It ended great, so I will probably have to get this and have it because it is basically the end of Witchfinder, an extra Hellboy in Hell. Like there's extra storylines here, Wild Hunt, that they close so many things here.
No,
So and
no,
also
no
that's a
trim size.
new
That's a shame.
cover. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of stuff that he'll do but just
Maybe it'll
that
match it.
cover is not 1, 2, or 3. So I think that's great too because I feel like a lot of his collections here and there they'll just put the number one and they'll pop that on the cover. I feel like it used to be always original covers, and I feel like most recent BPRDs and stuff they're just like they just throw it on. So I'm happy there's a new cover, a Stenbeck
Yeah,
cover.
it's a nice cover.
Yeah, so back to the Battle Beast, 400,000 copies. Now, when I was reading this, I don't think I noticed this, and I don't even think it's on this page. But it says here that the big appeal for retailers and fans have been blind bags, which contain a number of randomly intermixed covers, including a super rare 1 in 1,000 variant. And they're doing, then Hattush is doing that too with some type of like variant, blah, 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 and CGC, da, 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 but saying, albeit non dual sign or CGC graded, like the orderable version. Parents some additional surprises and may not be Battle Beast variants at all. What are you doing? But what may be kind of crazy about this, just by looking at some of this art down here, is that like, are we just gonna have to like make our own like folders? Like meaning like when these issues come out that we just like because it takes so long, if ever, if there's going to be a Transformers like coffee table book of Transformers covers from 1 to whatever.
Yeah,
There's 5 variants per. There's exclusive covers.
I went nuts. I love variants for so long, and then it became I just want variants of the books I love, and then it withered down to like I just want variants by my favorite artist.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like this book here, if I were still buying paper, I would buy every cover. But modern me would be like I would just buy the hardcover with all of the covers. But like
Right.
Kirkman's weird about that. Like I had all the Invincible universe, all the Invincible Ultimate collections, and sometimes he would leave out a variant. Like he didn't even do that many variants, and he would still leave them out of the hardcover.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not
No, it's
good.
not good. And the trades, they don't put covers in them at all. And I think
No,
that
no, yeah, the Duke
blows.
trades, all those, and we know they're putting out deluxe editions of those, so we're curious to see if they're going to be in there. They're like a little deluxe hardcovers or whatever.
I hope by deluxe, because it's 1 through 12, they're ultimate size.
Don't
Ultimate
know.
size is
Yeah,
Kirkman, well, Marvel started it. Their Ultimate hardcovers, they wanted to make something that wasn't as big as an absolute, but something a little more special than their traditional hardcovers.
Mhm.
So they made this absolute size. I can't give you the exact dimensions.
Yeah, and they
Bigger
had
than
like Best of
bigger than a comic.
Spider-Man, and yeah, you had some good. You would do different books. The Hulk ones they did in that size too. The
Right.
Hulk,
But they
Bruce
called it the
Jones.
Ultimate. They were calling it
Mhm.
Ultimate Edition. Kirkman's like, well, I want to sell Invincible hardcovers. The Ultimate Comics hardcovers are selling like crazy. So he made his Invincible hardcovers look just like
It matched the trade
Ultimate.
dress. It had the
It matched trade
sidebar.
dress. Yeah.
Cool.
And then Larson, like, oh well, I want to sell mine like Invincible. And I tried to get Larson to like not call it the Dragon Ultimate Edition, call it like the Dragon Highbrow Edition, because he for a minute he had the Highbrow universe was his Savage Dragon, like
Oh, I meant to tell you
Extreme,
that. Go on
Shadowline.
to Hoopla. Hoopla has volume 3 of the Ultimate Edition, not one or two, but you can at least see what that looks like. So you can
Oh,
go on to
cool.
Hoopla and go to the last 20 pages because the last 20 pages are
All the
sketchbooks and or art that what remember there's a Savage Dragon poster that has a bunch of heads on it, right?
yes, yeah,
And you may have seen the other. There it was supposed to be like a wraparound cover, I guess.
yeah. I
And
had that poster.
oh, you have, but if you the drawing in the Savage Dragon Ultimate Volume 3, the drawing that I saw was black and white, and it had like other heads on, and it wasn't even finished drawn on the other side, on the left side.
Oh,
So it was a
neat. Oh,
wrap. It
you
was
know
supposed to
what?
be a wraparound cover.
I
You might
feel
have
like you're
seen
right.
that.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah,
'Cause I used to get like every magazine that had Larson interviews, and it was always chock full of other things. He's got a Amazing Heroes, I think, where it's like, is it Punisher strangling Eric Larson on the cover?
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
That book is great. That has so much original art that you never see anywhere else.
Really?
That's an
Yeah,
amazing
I'm waiting for someone to
heroes.
scan a bunch of Amazing Heroes and because a lot of the back issues they put PDFs up, so you can of back issue magazine. So there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, who
Like
did
Comics
Amazing Heroes?
Journal. Uh was it what was his name? I forget his name.
They should be archived. Like
Yeah.
Amazing Heroes, Comics Interview Magazine,
Mm-hmm.
Comic Scene Magazine.
Comics Interview was David Anthony Kraft. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of yeah,
Okay.
Comics Interview was that. So which he
It's a
wrote. He
shame.
wrote a bunch of Marvel stuff at that
It's a
time.
shame that Wizard Magazine came in and wiped them all out.
Mm-hmm.
But all Wizard Magazine was like a more
It's
childish
fluff.
version. It was fluff. It was like
Yeah.
not quite as fluff as Comic Scene. Comic Scene was just pure fluff, but I loved it.
We
But
would take
like,
what we can get when Comic Scene was coming out, man, because it would be like 60% movies that never came out. Like we should
yes.
take apart a Comic Scene because it's like
Oh
every
yeah. Yeah.
issue they would have
A list
a
of every
hundred
comic book.
projects
Yeah.
that may have been optioned a little bit,
Yeah.
and then they
Like
put casting in there or
like
like
did we
rumored casting
like
and
I remember like seeing things like Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters movie because the Turtles movie got made. Why not the hamsters?
right.
I think, and then there was like a Fish Police cartoon, but I think that actually happened, but I don't think it did anything.
Yeah, it might be on YouTube. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
Fish Police,
Fish Police. Yeah,
the '80s,
just
man,
crazy,
I love it.
just crazy. So this was someone. This was from a toy blogger that I a vlogger, I guess, I like on
All
YouTube.
right, yeah,
I forget who it is exactly, but the reason I put this one there is this apparently he was mad about it because essentially they did like repaints. This is actually not uncommon, but apparently McFarlane doesn't really do repaints of things. So he took his Batman Spawn 2-pack, which I never saw. It's on their website as like $60-$70. It's on McFarlane's website right now, actually. And but this came out a year ago, and then they repainted this and then did the cowl differently. But then on the back of it, he was mad because he's like, this is not that's not he just made like a different Batman. He just did like
yeah,
a different sculpt and a different like it just says I forget what it says. It says Batman something or other, but it's like it's not this McFarlane Batman.
yeah,
So like this is, I'd say like that is, and even that doesn't even look
yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
either because that's too long. It's like you're the guy. That's a McFarlane Spawn. That's a McFarlane. That's that
Yeah.
drawing.
That's that
Like
post 30s Spawn, yeah, or post 20s. I forget when he changed his costume.
yeah. So I don't know. So it's just goofy. So he was mad about that. I think that's kind of funny
It's
because
okay.
that's the same body build. Yeah, that's Spawn.
All right,
Couldn't figure out that double tap zoom. Couldn't get out. Oh, okay.
sorry.
And then last bit of news is always Conan, but the Frazetta girls, just Frazetta's daughters created a company and they're making really good products. So this is a 1/12 scale Conan. Lots of there's the hands, extra
The
head.
many, it's like a Neil Adams inking project. Many hands.
many hands, diverse hands, you know, like
Diverse
so.
hands, but yeah,
But I do like that they just literally like put that Conan and they just kind of Photoshop him in actual drawings or actual covers of Conan. You know what I mean? I think that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that's fun.
Yeah, so that's it. And that this is on pre-order for $70. And there's no, it doesn't resell. It's through this. That's it. It's through their website. That's it. So I feel that's fair. But I don't know. I'm not that familiar with. I'm not an avid toy collector. I'm a random. I don't know. A casual toy collector. But I don't know what 1/12 means. I don't know
It
if that
means one
means.
twelfth the size of a human being.
But how do I can't math that way. I don't math that way. I'm not going to shrink. I'm not going to. But how tall is Conan? So I go, okay, let me take a 6'5" man, divide that by 12. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't.
Yes,
Just tell me how tall that is.
that's exactly
I
how it
guess
works.
that's exactly. Where's my calculator?
Good job.
Anyway,
You
I just
figured
figured
out
it out.
math.
Oh, there's math.
You figured out
That's
some
my whole job.
fractions. All right.
Exactly. But that's the
Stick.
news.
Well, let me add a little bit here.
Yeah.
Sticking with the toys, they did announce Jada Toys is doing Invincible. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if there's any designs up yet, but that's interesting. That's hundreds. That's hundreds of characters. You know,
Mm.
Kirkman's hasn't really done a whole lot of toys. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's funny to me that like McFarlane didn't lock that down. McFarlane's like, hey, I'm losing to DC this year. Why don't I just invest in Invincible? So I
Mm.
don't know what. It's just weird because McFarlane got Liefeld out of a like Liefeld was signing with Mattel in the 90s.
Mm. Right.
And then McFarlane's, I'll beat that deal. We'll do it together. They did what? He did Chapel Bedrock in a Spawn
Mm.
line, and then he did a Youngblood line. And there was a wave two of Youngblood all like sculpted out, and then we never got it. So
Yeah.
I'd be
I saw
curious to.
Shaft recently in the McFarlane. I saw that in the store recently, like on card for like $10. I'm like, mm. But I didn't
Yeah.
like that design of Shaft. I thought he didn't look like didn't look like
The
a
problem with
Liefeld.
that Youngblood wave is like they're all in positions and they're stuck. Like Die Hard's kind of crouched down. I'm like, can I crouch him down? Like
Yeah.
he's stuck there.
You love your
A
Die Hard.
troll doesn't move at all. He's just like a, you know what I mean? Like it's not a great.
Yeah,
Like the
The
sculpts are
Bedrock
good.
looked like a Liefeld drawing though. That was a Liefeld drawing. It was just like
It
this.
was
It
yeah,
was the
Youngblood,
back
yeah, Youngblood
cover
Six Bedrock.
face. Hmm.
So they should have just made it more traditional, but able to do things. Don't pose it for me. Let me pose it myself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mistake in my mind. I saw Disney Plus is doing a Power Ranger show by the same people who did the Percy Jackson show.
They
So I don't know
own
how good
that?
that show is.
They own Power Rangers somehow?
Hasbro owns Power Rangers, but they might co-own it. Like I think Saban, right? Saban. I think they sold it to Hasbro.
Yeah.
But Disney has a piece of that too. So I think it's just them, Disney and Hasbro working together. They already do. Hasbro does all their Marvel toys and such, so there's a good alliance there.
Mhm.
So that'll be, I'll check it out. I'm not like Power Rangers was like right after my love, like I
Yeah,
kind of
it's right
that's when I was
after.
growing out. Power
Yeah.
Ranger wasn't my deal. Um, did I have anything else? Oh, the interesting rumor about if McFarlane's going to
Oh,
buy
Diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting because I think McFarlane, like first off, you'd have to have the image come back. Like I'm sure he wouldn't do that without talking to Stevenson. Like, hey, if I buy Diamond after this first year, whatever our contract is with Lunar, right?
Right.
They sign with Lunar,
I think that's right. Yeah.
or they probably just do both. On whatever wherever the money's at. But like McFarlane doesn't need to buy Diamond.
Mhm.
He must want to help the small guy. This is my like McFarlane's kind of a decent guy. So I think like he wants to help smaller because the smaller comics just they're gonna go away if somebody doesn't help out Diamond.
Yeah, they're going to get swallowed. So you think he's doing it more so in a business proposition one, two, not necessarily to help Jeppy, but to help like other small publishers.
It's helping comic stores. It's helping small publishers. Yeah,
Right.
it's we need the options open, and maybe it's a better thing for Image Comics if they have their own
Mhm.
distribution company because then it saves everyone money. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. And he might not even have the highest bid. It's probably going to go to some corporate interest. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't want to go to someone disinterested and then it's chopped up and then it's just
yes,
parts and it's
that's
gone.
that's most likely what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But McFarlane throwing his name in out there, throwing his hat in the game, in the ring. That's
Yeah. And there was some rumor, I think it was on Bleeding Cool, that there was a bunch of bonuses paid out, which I said that and you like lost it earlier when we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about
That
it.
pisses me off because when the 2008 market crash happened and the government helped out all these companies, everyone got their bonuses that year. Like millions of dollars were paid out in bonuses, and I'm like, no, you should have. What about all these people you laid off? What about all these? You know, I mean, you
Yeah.
build your business back up. Fix that. Don't. Ugh, bonuses. Listen, bonuses are great if the company can afford it and you're taking care of your employees.
Right.
But they
Right. Right.
didn't. You know, we helped
Yeah.
them out. We the government bailed them out. That's our tax dollars helping out millionaires and billionaires, and they still got their bonuses. And that's what I don't like. Like you got your credit to help refinance your company, and you're still paying out your bonuses.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's gross to me.
Yeah.
So, but that's everything I got for the week. So
Yeah. That's it. That's
let's
it.
let's
Stay
do it.
tuned, everybody. Check out the reviews day. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Yeah, for something or even just a trail you want to see something more of in either the news or something we want to do history wise. You know, we are down to be
Yeah.
programmed. Down to be programmed. Um, that is it. Everyone have the best week, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Happy spring.